Hi everybody, welcome to Foundations of Toxicology and Herb-Drug Interaction. My name is Betsy. I'm going to be your instructor for this semester. I'm really excited to be running this course. It's a really fun course to teach and to take. We really go in depth into plant chemistry and herb-drug interaction and learning about all the awesome, amazing constituents that we have in plants and how that impacts their potential for either adverse events, toxic events, as well as the potential for herb-drug interaction. It's a really, really important topic because most of us in this program end up becoming some form of practitioner, whether or not it's acupuncture or herbal medicine or a combination of both. Many of us end up in some sort of a clinical setting. So it's really the responsibility of a clinician to understand not only how these herbs can behave in our bodies and interact with our physiology, but most of our clients nowadays are going to be on at least one pharmaceutical. So it's very important for us to know that based on a certain type of herb or a certain type of pharmaceutical, that there does lie a potential for an interaction, whether or not it's synergistic or potentially dangerous. So that's really what we're seeking to explore in this class, and I do my best to make plant chemistry and phytochemistry fun. I know that initially the word chemistry doesn't seem like it would be all that exciting, but I love to think about phytochemistry as simply another language that we can use to communicate with the plants. Understanding a little bit about constituent groups can tell us so much about how a plant might behave in the body, how a plant might interact with a certain type of energy with a person, if it's, likely going to be a warming plant or a drying plant. So we can learn so much about even a plant we've never used before just by knowing a little bit about its chemistry. So what I want to do for our Module 1 introduction is just walk you through the course a little bit. We're going to go into more detail with this when we have our online meeting next week. I sent out an email about that, so if you haven't seen it, please check your email. It's also under the announcements section. You'll see I posted an announcement last week about wanting to essentially meet up as a group online, either Monday or Tuesday of this coming week, and have an opportunity to kind of walk through the course together bit by bit, answer any questions that you guys might have to get us all started off on the right foot for this semester, and go through the syllabus together, introduce one of our primary assignments this semester, which is the Herbal Compendium. Really fun project. So just an opportunity to really get to know each other at the beginning of this semester so we can help build our online community and our online classroom and feel like we know each other a little bit. So when you have a chance, please take a look at that email and give me some feedback on the doodle poll about what time works best for you. If you're not able to make it to that webinar live, then I will be posting a recording of it in this announcements section. So the two primary ways that I'll be communicating with you this semester are through the announcements here on this tab, as well as through your email. So, and all of my emails, I tend to mark with that high priority little button there, so they'll come as flagged for you guys to make sure you see them. And any communication with me can be facilitated through email, through the virtual cafe. I will check both. And as I say in the syllabus, I do my best to get back to everybody within 24 hours whenever possible. I do travel a bit for teaching, so if I am ever out of town, I will send you guys an email well ahead of time letting you know that between certain dates it might take me longer to get back to you. But typically I am able to respond within 24 hours to any questions that you guys might have. So, back to our home screen here. I want to make sure everyone knows where the syllabus is. We have this lovely, beautiful button here that says syllabus. And for the syllabus, you have a downloadable version in PDF form. And that's going to give you all of the information you need about this course, the dates that it runs, the required resources, the rubrics for your assignments, everything. And if you scroll down a little bit more, you have a basic assignments summary here. So you'll have a good idea of when things are due. For the most part, everything is due Saturday evening of that week by 11:59 p.m. The exception being, we have throughout the course a couple of these pre-module discussions. I'll talk about those a little bit more in a second, but those are due the Wednesday of the week the module is assigned. And I think it looks like we only have about 2 of those. So just be aware of those. It's this week and the middle of February, the week of February 15th, that those will be due mid-week, mid-module. So if you tend to wait until the weekend to get your work done, just be aware that those will be due midweek and you don't want to miss those. So this is going to be your main portal of information here in the syllabus tab. All the answers are in the syllabus, I promise you. And that's why we're going to take a minute to go through it more extensively when we have our webinar online. So back to home. The next thing I just wanted to briefly show you was all the modules, where those are located. So in your modules button, you have the course overview here at the top, a little bit of information about me and how to get in contact with me whenever you need something. Your virtual cafe, this is where you can ask questions, post discussion topics for the group. It's a really fun place to interact outside of the required discussions. This is where you would post any fun resources or articles that you come across that pertain to phytochemistry or herb-drug interaction. We're always getting new research that comes out about herbal medicine, especially as it becomes more popular. So this is the place to post all that so we can see what we're all doing and all the information that we're finding as a group. You have your general resources here. We have a section for APA formatting. I take APA formatting pretty seriously, so if you haven't reviewed APA in a while, I would take a second to just brush up on APA formatting before you start working on your assignments. We have an example here of the Herbal Compendium assignment. This is the big project for our semester. It's really the only big assignment that you have this whole semester. And it's assigned in 2 parts. There's Herbal Compendium Part 1, which is doing 1 out of the 5 herbs, and then the final compendium, which includes 5 herbs. And I have a sample here to show you of what we're looking for, so that as you start this assignment, which I go into in depth as we work our way through the modules. We actually have a module where I'll walk through the assignment with you so you know exactly what I'm looking for. But this just gives you a good idea of the caliber of work that we expect out of this assignment and the fun that you can have with it. You can make it look very pretty. And a lot of students have said that they found themselves using this assignment in their clinical practice. They'll actually have it as like a little handout in a waiting room where people can look at it while they're waiting for their appointment, or as part of like a clinic notebook that they're putting together. So it's a really useful, fun assignment, and we learn a lot doing it. So I'm really looking forward to introducing you guys to that assignment in a couple of modules. We also have a couple of required readings posted up here under general resources. And then as you scroll down, you'll see each module as I open them. So you'll be able to see the module the Saturday before it opens. Technically, all the modules start on a Sunday, but I will open everything for you that Saturday before. So 1 day before, to give you a little bit of extra time to work on things. So I will be opening that first module tonight, so you guys can get a head start. Again, there is a pre-module discussion this module, so make sure you're able to get to that. We do like that you engage in that pre-module discussion before actually reading the required resources or looking at the reflection assignment, because it's an opportunity to think creatively and to think based on experience about these situations, about these questions that we pose in the pre-module discussion, and seeing how your opinion might change after looking through the resources and hearing the lectures. And if you've learned something new based on the information, which I hope you do. So please try to try to complete those pre-module discussions before you listen to any of the lectures or read any of the resources, because it's a really fun exercise just in self-reflection as well. So I believe that is all that I wanted to introduce you guys to for this first module for Module 1. Every module, just to show you guys required resources very quickly, every module will have a PowerPoint lecture that's typically broken down into a couple of different parts based on the file size. And some of the modules will also have additional required reading under that required resources. And for the most part, though, the required resources will be the lecture for that week. So that's what you can expect there. So if you have any questions going into this first module before our webinar on either Monday or Tuesday, please feel free to email me. I would love to hear from all of you and get to know all of you. I'm really excited that we have such a big group this semester, that we can all learn together and start this journey of understanding phytochemistry and really diving into the world of herb-drug interaction, because it's really fascinating. And like I said, I do my best to make chemistry as exciting and fun as possible, because it's a really interesting world to be in with plant medicine. So I hope you all enjoy this first module, and I look forward to connecting with as many of you as possible next week for our webinar. I'll talk with you all soon. Bye.